who's got money? Much obliged. It's mighty Christian of you.
The kid was always terrorizing the townfolk because his father was the richest man around, but he made the mistake of threatening a stranger who was the deadliest outlaw in the land.
Hey?
You want to watch where you point that thing before you get hurt.
Maybe you don't know who I am.
Somewhere in Arizona, 1873, an unnamed man has just regained consciousness. With no memory of who he is, he notices a wound to his side and a strange metal shackle on his wrist that just won't come off. Lying next to him is a photo of a woman. 3 men on horseback and a dog soon approach. They assume the dirty-looking stranger is a wanted man and try to take him by force, but he fights back and kills them in a matter of seconds. He takes the clothes and shoes off one of the men and rides away with the dog. He enters a small town called Absolution and walks into a house that appears to be empty. While he's trying to wash his wound, a man approaches the stranger from behind with a rifle. He asks the stranger what his name is, but he doesn't remember. The man with the rifle is named Meacham. He's a kind man and starts being friendly with the stranger. He gets the stranger to lie down and stitches up his wound. Meacham reveals he's the town preacher and tells the stranger that Absolution was a mining town, but people moved on after they did not find any gold. And just as he finishes stitching the stranger up, a bullet flies through his window. They go out to find an entitled kid named Percy, shooting at a saloon owned by a man called Doc. Doc is annoyed at Percy, especially because Percy also never pays for his drinks. Percy calls Doc over and knocks down his glasses. He keeps bullying Doc, and Meacham walks over to calm down the situation. Percy wants to be funny, so he starts taking up a collection on the preacher's behalf. But when he approaches our stranger, he kicks Percy in the crotch and walks away. A woman named Ella looks on from a side alley. Percy gets up and tries to shoot the man, but fires wide, hitting a deputy in the shoulder. Just then, the sheriff named John Taggart rides up. Taggart says Percy's antics have gone too far, so he'll have to lock him up. Nat, who works for Percy's father, leaves to inform him of Percy's situation. Not far from the town, a herd of Percy's father's cattle are grazing, while 3 men sit near a fire.
Mr. Dollarhide don't like drinking on the job.
Mr. Dollarhide? I don't give a rat's ass what Colonel Dollarhide don't like. I said to his face if he was here. I'm gonna tell you something, boys. Money makes you soft.
Roy goes to take a crap in the river when suddenly there's a huge explosion, and he falls under the water. He climbs out to find that the other 2 men and all the cattle are dead. Back in town, Percy has been put in jail, and Taggart tells him a federal marshal is taking him to Santa Fe for trial. The sheriff notices a wanted poster, which finally reveals the identity of the stranger as Jake Lonergan.
Can you put that on Percy's tab? Just kidding with you there, Doc.
Got no respect in this town.
What are you doing with me anyway? Why don't you be with somebody who can protect you?
I love you.
I'm not a child.
I'm the house for what you did.
Jake is drinking whiskey in the saloon when Ella approaches him and asks him about the bracelet he's wearing, but he's not interested in talking to her. Taggart and his men enter the saloon to arrest Jake. Taggart calls Jake by his name and asks him to follow him to his office. One man pulls a gun on Jake, but he manages to disarm all the men without shooting anyone. Jake holds a gun to Taggart's head, but Ella knocks Jake out from behind. Now, Jake is having flashbacks of a small cabin and his wife, Alice. He sees some gold and an alien creature. The scene reopens, showing Jake waking up in a cell. In the next cell is Percy, and he's trash-talking, so Jake knocks him out. Later at the cattle camp, Percy's father, Woodrow Dollarhide, is torturing Roy to find out what happened to his other 2 men and the cattle.
You've been drinking, ain't you?
Yes, them other 2's been drinking. You couldn't believe me, there's white lines.
So there was this big light. 2 of my best hands has just disappeared. There weren't no lightning this evening.
Nat and another man ride up and tell Woodrow that Percy has been locked up. Woodrow lets a horse drag Roy off into the night, and as they head into town to retrieve Percy, Woodrow is told that Jake is back in town. At the jail, Taggart tells Jake all the crimes he's wanted for, including the murder of a woman named Alice.
Alice Wills. You saying I killed this woman? You tell me. And I will treat you with respect. If you try to escape, I will put a bullet in you.
Jake is escorted outside and put in a wagon with Percy to be transported to Santa Fe for trial. Ella tries to explain why she knocked him out, but he tells her to go away. Before the wagon can leave, Woodrow and his men ride in. He demands that Taggart release his son. He sees Jake and also demands he be released to him, since Jake was the one who stole Woodrow's gold. In the middle of the confrontation, strange lights are seen in the distance, and Jake's bracelet starts beeping. Spacecraft fly into the town and start firing at buildings and people. The spacecraft are dropping lines and pulling people away, including Doc's wife. The wagon takes off but falls over. Taggart tries to rescue his grandson Emmett, but is pulled up into the sky. Jake's bracelet seems to be activated, and with it, he blasts the wagon open. He climbs out and walks away. Woodrow gets Percy out of the wagon, but a line comes down and pulls Percy away. As one spacecraft turns around to attack, Jake aims the bracelet and shoots it down. Jake and Woodrow slowly approach the crashed spacecraft, but find that it's empty.
What is that thing? Why are you asking me? Where'd you get that thing? I don't know.
Is it demons?
Sure does fit the description.
Talking about Bible stuff? Demons.
You're telling me a bunch of demons took my wife?
Suddenly, a woman's scream is heard nearby and they go to investigate. They see a strange shape flashing by the window. Nat finds tracks left by the alien creature, and Woodrow tells his men to prepare to set out by dawn. He tells Jake to come with them, but he refuses. The next morning, Jake rides off alone, but Ella secretly follows him. In the town, meanwhile, Meacham preaches while Doc is taking care of the wounded. Ella keeps following Jake, but he jumps her and demands to know what she wants. She says she needs his help, but he warns her one final time to stay away from him. Woodrow and his crew set out with Doc and Meacham. Emmett comes along too, as well as Ella and the stray dog.
It's all the same, I'd like to ride along too.
Got a kid and a dog, why not a woman?
Jake rides up to a small cabin. He walks inside and has a flashback of him and his wife. She was trying to persuade Jake to return the gold coins he stole. During their argument, the roof is blown up, and his wife is taken up by a line. He also sees some people staring up in a gaze. Jake rides up and joins Woodrow's group. Night falls and it starts raining. They come across a large riverboat and take shelter there. Nat tries to have a conversation with Woodrow, but he insults him. Woodrow offers Emmett a piece of apple and gives him a knife to keep. Meanwhile, Meacham is teaching Doc how to shoot a rifle, while Jake is talking to Ella. Jake's bracelet lights up, and they realize the alien they're tracking is nearby. Woodrow's men are sitting near a fire when the alien suddenly attacks them. Emmett goes to investigate but runs into the creature. Meacham comes to the rescue and shoots at the alien, who then attacks him instead. Jake fires his gun at it, and it runs off. Ella goes to comfort Emmett, and before drawing his last breath, Meacham tells Jake to go save the people. The next morning, Meacham is buried, and Nat finds the alien's tracks again, so they get ready to leave.
We're gonna say some words over him.
Isn't it enough we took the time to put him there?
Lord, if there is such a thing as a soul, this man had a good one. Please protect it. How's that?
Good words.
They follow the tracks into a canyon, but some bandits jump out and hold them up. One of the men, named Hunt, recognizes Jake as their boss. Jake pretends to know what's going on and tells Hunt to take them to meet the rest of the gang. They ride back to the gang's camp, but a man called Pat tells Jake that he runs the gang now. He takes Jake's gun and knocks him to the ground. Jake had apparently taken the gang's loot after their last heist, and Pat demanded to know where the gold was, but Jake said he didn't remember. Jake's bracelet activates again and he blasts a hole into Pat's chest. He threatens the other men to drop their guns, and then he rides off with Woodrow's group. The gang is chasing them down when suddenly, 4 spacecraft appear and start firing at everyone while rounding people up. A line is fired at Jake, but he ducks and shoots the spacecraft. The same spacecraft flies in from behind and captures Ella. Jake turns around and chases after it. It's damaged, so it flies low and slow along a canyon, and Jake gets close enough to jump on it. As it flies over a lake, he fires into it, and they crash into the water. Jake and Ella reach the surface and swim out of the water. Suddenly, the alien appears and strikes Ella. Jake turns quickly and kills it. He rushes to Ella, who's now badly injured. Jake carries her a long distance, but struggles to keep going. The rest of the group see them coming and rush to help. Doc tries to treat her, but finds that she's already dead. Jake is still trying to process it when a group of Chiricahua Apache Indians, led by a man known as Black Knife, rides up and surrounds them. The Native Americans take them as captives to their village. They wrap Elle's corpse in a cloth and throw it onto a large fire. Woodrow is arguing with the tribal chief when suddenly the fire flares up and Ella appears from out of the flames. She's naked and Jake covers her with a blanket. She tells Jake that she's not human and only took that form to walk among them. They all sit around a fire with the chief. The chief wants to know where Ella is from, and she responds in their language, saying she came from a place above the stars. She says the aliens came for gold and took captives to study humans. The aliens annihilated her people, so she came to Earth to ensure they don't succeed this time. The chief says they will join Ella to fight the aliens. Ella tells Jake that he can find the aliens if he manages to remember how he escaped from them. The chief says he has a way to restore Jake's memory. They make him drink an Indian medicine, and his memories start flooding back in. Jake has flashbacks where he's inside the alien mothership, and an alien is performing surgery on Alice, after which she is incinerated. Jake recalls burning an alien with a laser and escaping with the powerful bracelet. He now remembers how to get to the aliens. The Indians and Jake's crew make their way to the alien mothership. Black Knife peers through a spyglass and says it's better to fight from high ground, but Woodrow disagrees. Jake is seen riding away and the crew think he's deserted them. Back in the bandits' camp, Hunt is arguing with a man called Bull over some stolen gold. Jake walks up and convinces the gang to ride with him one last time against the aliens, promising to make them rich like he always has. Back at the site of the mothership, Black Knife and Woodrow are disagreeing on the plan of attack. Black Knife says he won't let his people be led by Woodrow. Nat goes over to talk to Black Knife and convinces him that Woodrow is a great warrior and means well. They see Jake riding back, and behind him is his former gang. Finally, they have a fighting chance. That night, the Native Americans do their war dance. Ella tells Jake that she won't be around very long, and they share a kiss. In the morning, they all ride out to attack the aliens. The Indians take positions on high ground, while Jake and a few men approach the mothership from below. Jake and 2 men climb the mothership with dynamite charges. Jake lights the bundles of dynamite and throws them into the ship, then they quickly scramble back down. The explosives go off as they run away. Hearing the explosions, the aliens come out and start shooting at them, killing some others on horses. The battle rages on while Jake and Ella enter the mothership from below and find where the aliens extract gold. The Native Americans are attacking from above while the cowboys fight on the ground, where they're being absolutely slaughtered. Woodrow is knocked off his horse and the alien is approaching to finish him off. But Nat comes to the rescue. He lassos the alien, who then drags him off his horse. The alien attacks Nat and bites him. Woodrow starts shooting at it and it turns to face him, but Doc shoots a headshot and kills it. Woodrow calls for Doc and rushes to Nat. Nat is happy to find out that they managed to kill the alien. Woodrow tells him he always dreamed of having a son like him, and Nat draws his last breath. The Native Americans and cowboys unite. They ride together against the aliens and start killing them. Jake and Ella discover the captured humans, gazing into a light above. Ella shoots the light source and the people start to awaken from their hypnotic state. They start releasing the captives from their restraints. They hear the aliens coming, and Jake goes to hold them off. He shoots each approaching alien with his bracelet gun. The captives are all released and exit the tunnel. More aliens attack outside and more cowboys are being killed. One alien goes after Emmett, and he runs to hide in a small cave in the mountain. The alien finds him and tries to grab him with his tiny inner hands. But Emmett grabs his knife and stabs the alien in the chest, killing it. Ella runs to where the aliens mine gold and Jake follows her. She plans to destroy the core of the mothership. She takes Jake's bracelet off and programs it into an explosive. She climbs into the core of the ship while Jake keeps watch. He throws her the bracelet and she says goodbye to Jake as the space closes. Jake is confused, but aliens start shooting at him, so he runs off. Black Knife is about to be killed, but Woodrow rides to his rescue, shooting the alien in the head. Emmett spots the released captives and alerts everyone else. However, there is no sign of Jake or Ella. Back in the ship, Jake stumbles on some gold and is attacked by the same alien he escaped from after burning its face with a laser. Jake is restrained to the operating table. The alien grabs a laser and is about to start operating on Jake when Woodrow starts shooting at it. As it approaches Woodrow, Jake grabs a shotgun and starts shooting it from behind. He shoots it down and shoots the molten gold above it, which burns the alien and finally kills it. Woodrow and Jake start to run out as the ship starts taking off. Meanwhile, Ella is still trying to find the core while an alien follows her closely behind. The ship takes off and Jake and Woodrow run out just in time. Ella finally finds the core of the ship. She activates the bomb and holds it close to her chest. It goes off and the ship explodes. Everyone cheers, but Jake is sad for the loss of Ella. They all reunite with their lost loved ones, even though the released humans lost some of their memory. Jake is left alone and rides back to his cabin home, where he takes some flowers to put on the table. The town of Absolution celebrates their victory in Doc's saloon, and a repentant Percy orders some shots for him and Emmett.
Any a little young?
after what he's been through, Doc, this should take care of any outstanding debt.
Woodrow enters the saloon, and the celebration stops. He calls Percy and tells Doc the next round is on him. He tells Percy all the gold they discovered would change his cattle business. The citizens intend to rebuild the town with the expectation that the newly discovered gold mine will soon bring many new settlers. Still a wanted man, Jake decides to leave but rides up to say farewell to Woodrow and the sheriff. Woodrow and Taggart say they will claim that he was killed in the invasion. Jake kindly rejects Woodrow's offer to help rebuild the town and rides away.